of Emmanuel Acho. That's how. Oh, it's Casual Fridays.
It's Casual Fridays, baby.
Really? We ain't at no 9 to 5. We ain't got no cubicle. We ain't got no real job. You better put a real suit on. All right. Let's get it started in New England, where Mac Jones put on a real suit. But first, Cam Newton got the start in the Patriots' first preseason game last night against the Washington football team. Cam played 2 series, including a 9-play drive that led to points. Field goal. That's 1, 2, 3, Acho. Patriots fans gave Mac Jones Mac Jones a standing ovation when he entered the game. Rookie went 13 of 19 for 87 yards and led 2 field goal drives of his own. Okay, so Acho, is it Mac Jones? Mac Jones time in New England.
So I don't know if it's Mac Jones' time, but it's coming very, very, very soon. It was just a different feel, a different look when Mac Jones was out there versus Cam Newton. Now, I'll be honest.
Yes,
I may have been looking for something different.
Okay, now we talk.
I may have been looking for something different, but it was a different look. Cam Newton went out there, and he didn't play bad, by no means. But he didn't do anything that said, oh, I've seen a significant difference. I've seen growth. I've seen change. He's airing it out now. Wow, Cam Newton looks like he's resurged to 2015 MVP form. No, he just looked like the same Cam Newton we saw last year. An average Cam Newton, right? You can win with it, but you can surely lose with it. And the stats, statistics, and all that back it up. So he was, what, 4 of 7, if I'm not mistaken, in the game. Didn't really have much to show for it.
Over 50% to me.
3 points.
Oh, yeah. You got 3 points in 2 drives versus 6.
But the problem is, and it was said best pre-show, talking to the producers, watching Cam Newton is brutal. Watching Cam Newton is not bad.
And we got bad
But
producers.
watching Cam Newton is brutal. It's like, it was just boring. Sal, check down.
Oh, points
check
are
down,
boring?
Run.
Patriots are
check
boring.
down. Check down. Run. And the kicker here with Cam Newton versus Mac Jones is this. You cannot afford to have a setback with Cam Newton. Because if you have a penalty, the offense, as Cam Newton runs it, isn't designed to get chunk yardage. The longest pass play Cam Newton had was 17 yards, an incredible gain of 17 yards. It was a screen where he threw the ball backwards. Mac Jones instantly comes in the game and airs it out 15 yards. A completed pass, Bill Belichick didn't bother challenging it just because I guess he didn't want to in the preseason. So, Sal, as I look at it, it's not necessarily Mac Jones' time just yet, but Mac Jones' time is coming very, very quickly.
Man, got to check your lens, brother. You got to clean it out. Windex, I suggest. It's everywhere because you're not seeing this correctly. Respect for what you're saying, because I heard a lot of the fans last night kind of basically looking through the same lens and saying the same things as you, which is, oh, my God, look at Mac Jones versus look at Cam Newton. Mac Jones' time in New England is not happening anytime soon, nor should it, because Mac Jones is a rookie. I always tell you that Bill Belichick's system in his first year is a sit or suck system. So he needs to sit or he's going to suck. Cam Newton had his struggles last year, but those struggles are behind him because they have retooled what this team looks like. Now, let's go by last night's standards, because if I don't go by last night's standards, I'm really going to just win this argument too fast, and we're going to have to go to the B block. Last night's standards, everyone wants to get so pumped up over Mac Jones because he led 5 drives to 2 field goals and 87 yards. That's great. But Cam Newton in 2 drives, and one of his drives was 54 yards, damn near what Mac Jones did in 5 drives. I don't want to compare them to each other because there is no comparison, but I have to do my job, and you're going to bring up Cam Newton and try to undermine his efforts, so I got to bring up Mac Jones and undermine his. This team is not built the way that Mac Jones needs a team to be built. They don't have the star power at the receiver position. Mac Jones is best in the pocket. Mac Jones could dart from the pocket. Mac Jones is going to be a beast. Trust, trust, trust. However, they're not built for that. They're built in a run-centric, kind of hybrid formation and mindset and philosophy. What is that? The 2 tight ends. We got to give run-balanced looks because we need a playmaker at quarterback. Cam Newton is better than Mac Jones right now just based on experience in the pocket. Barely. I would say that. That's because that's Mac Jones' strongest suit. However, he's not a playmaker at all. This system knows that things are going to break down because we don't have the playmakers yet. We spend a lot of money, tight ends, receivers, everywhere. We spend a lot of money. But the strength of this team is their offensive line, in particular, run blocking. Well, who's going to help them in run blocking more, Cam Newton or Mac Jones? Because when plays break down or in design run plays, who's going to take advantage of that? Cam Newton. He did it last year. Remember, this team won 7 games and was in contention for 4 more games, deep in their opponent's territory, with the ball, with the game on the line. That's an 11-win team if things break their way. Cam Newton now in the system, year 2, is the perfect fit to maximize what this team can do right now this year. If you're talking about the future, talking about 2022 and beyond, oh, it's Mac Jones all day. But right now, while you still have a team built to run the football, you better have a quarterback that can run the football.
So
I broke that down, y'all.
The reason you did break it down, but the reason I so vehemently disagree is because I agree. I agree with one part of your take. I agree with the part that is Cam Newton and Mac Jones, they're not too different right now. Not at all, not in my opinion.
No, in passing. In running, they are. They're never going to be
the same.
Well, that counts now. It's 2.0
But I would say it like this.
Don't do that.
If Mac Jones is not significantly worse, if he's not bad, then I would start him right away. Because let me go ahead and take some of the lumps that's got to be taken anyway. Cam Newton last year was a 7-8 quarterback. Based upon what we've seen, incredibly limited. But based upon what we've seen, it don't seem like Cam Newton made incredibly great strides. We know Hunter Henry wasn't out there. I don't think Nelson Aguilar was out there. He didn't have everybody fully out there. Chase Young was on his neck. But it doesn't look like Cam Newton was just a complete different individual. So as a result, Mac Jones looked good enough. He didn't look great, but he looked good enough. And if a rookie quarterback sell doesn't look bad, to me that's implications that he will be great. If you throw somebody on set with no practice and they hold their own, I'm kind of like, hey, if you weren't terrible, that means you're going to be all right. And as I looked at it yesterday, Mac Jones wasn't terrible. And as a result, he going to be all right. I know Cam Newton's ceiling in New England. I don't know Cam Newton's ceiling in life, but I know Cam Newton's ceiling in New England. Mac Jones, I have no idea of his ceiling, and I want to get to know it, Sal. Cam Newton, last year, versus winning teams. He played 7 times versus winning teams. He was 2-5. 7 games. His point differential for his team, -52. 7 games. And he threw 2 passing touchdowns in 7 games. Mac Jones can't get much worse than that. He can only get 2 games worse than that as far as win or loss, but he can't get much worse than 2 passing touchdowns in 7 games. So as I look at it, if Mac Jones can't get much worse than what Cam had to offer last year, and it doesn't appear that Cam Newton is much better than Mac Jones right now based upon what we saw yesterday. I saw a limited sample size, but a sample size nonetheless. Then why in the world would I keep riding with Cam Newton?
Because I'm going to break it down to you. I'm trying to be respectful of both these guys. See, I'm the actual coach of this team right now. I am Bill Belichick, and I'm saying, look, I know what these guys can do and can't do. I love the fact that you want right now Mac Jones to touch the ceiling because he looks capable. He looks like he could do it. Looks like he can't do worse than Cam Newton. Don't judge Cam Newton based on last year, bruh. Not just because they didn't have the weapons, but because this year they do have more. Not enough, but more. They spent $288.5 million this offseason in free agency. We're going to judge Cam Newton on that. They have bought themselves a better team. We'll see how much better. We'll see. But they're still not prolific on the outside. So now you're going to
put... Which one is it, though, Sal? You're confusing me, big dog. You're confusing me.
Because you know I'm confused. I'm going to tell you why you're confused.
But they're still not prolific. Which one is it?
That's all to my point. You have the lens of the ugly girl. You walk into the guy ain't cute. Now, if you were the fine girl, you'll walk in the room and say, look at everybody staring at me and thinking I'm fine. But guess what? To me, y'all both look the same. Ha-ha. It's just what you thinking. You thinking it's Mac Jones' time, so everything he does, you're going to exaggerate. But everything Cam Newton does, that's the same. You're going to now lessen because Cam Newton's a former MVP, because Cam Newton should be better. But they doing the same thing. Now, let's get to my analysis. That was just answering your question. My analysis is, who's better at running the football, Cam or Mac Jones?
Yes, sir, Cam Newton.
Who's better at passing the football right now, Cam?
I think Mac Jones, sir.
Okay, you can say that. I'm not trying to force you to say something. Who's better at playmaking?
I would say Cam Newton.
Anytime you got to always say, I will say. But when it's Mac Jones, you say Mac Jones. But I will say.
I don't want to argue with you. You're making a point.
So the point is, in an assessment of that position, who has more boxes checked? Cam Newton.